It's AV SuperFriends First Friday Live, a short, often impromptu show streamed live to the socials and usually on the correct day, the first Friday of the month. We've collected 2 or 3 topics, news stories, product announcements, social media posts, or email listserv messages, and we'll give you our honest opinions in about 15 minutes or less, or your money back, offer not valid in some states. The show starts now. It is 2025, and this is the first show we've done this year.
Ugh, feels like we're done for a while.
Right. It's been a couple of weeks, hasn't it?
It's been a while.
Who scheduled all these holidays on Fridays?
People who didn't get them in earlier in the year. Needed to make up for it.
Make up holidays?
Yep, that's all
We're squeezing them in towards the end of the year. You got 2 more weeks. Use it or lose it.
Exactly.
Get all your holidays in there.
So you didn't use all your holidays this year.
Yeah, well, now you get an extra Christmas. Christmas too.
Yeah, take that.
So, all right. Well, we've got a couple of stories gathered together. We're going to hash through some things. This is very informal, impromptu, all that fun stuff. So please yell at us on the socials. And Larry's looking for those comments, and he will.
And we're now brought to you in new social mode. If you didn't notice,
we're compressed. We're compressed. Our New Year's resolution is to be thinner.
Well, this is how we got there.
The thing is, if you look on Twitter on the live feed, like I'm doing right now,
it looks worse.
It does not handle this aspect ratio at all.
Ooh, you win some, you lose some. I don't know.
What's it do?
There's no right answer.
We are not thinner at all in this video.
Oh, are we worse off?
Oh, we are much worse. We're like,
shit. Okay, well, we'll get the interns.
Let me go to the live thing. I want to see. Oh, yeah, you're right. What the hell? No, it looks fine on my screen. What are you seeing, Larry?
Who cares?
On Twitter? Or X or whatever they're calling it.
Can we change it?
Yeah. Everything else is handling.
No, we're locked and
okay,
loaded, bud. This is
that
what
one
we
does
got.
not like it.
I'll get it. This is what you're seeing, so y'all can fix your stuff. There you go. Look at that.
Okay.
How small
Maybe
can we
it's
get?
just me.
It's
Are you
Inception.
looking at it on a mobile device?
No.
No, this is called a computer. I'm sorry, a compute.
A computifier. Get it right.
There we go. Even smaller.
Jesus.
What's happening? How far down?
It's all turtles.
Hall of Mirrors. Are you running NDI over there?
Stop sharing
What is that?
thing.
All right. Anyway.
Yes, we grabbed a couple of news stories. We're going to hash through some social media posts. We got some ideas here. First one comes to us from Gizmodo.
Which they're not going to see, but we will to keep you honest,
They can't see the clock, but I can see the clock. Right. Well, they can see the clock if I change this.
They could. Yeah. Well, you want to show
You want to see the clock?
I dare you.
There you go.
There
The clock is the most important thing. Everyone look at the clock.
No, it's not. Okay.
All right, enough of that. First one comes from Gizmodo, and we picked it because we love this topic. Scientists built tiny VR goggles for mice. So finally, a decent use of VR.
A real use case. Here it is.
Mice can go to Spain.
How did you find this?
It's on the internet.
How did you not see it?
How did you?
Justin?
Yeah, don't you
I don't see everything on the internet,
Get out
obviously.
of here. Come on now.
If I did, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
I think you dropped this on us like on Christmas Day, Chris. You're like, you shared this out. We're like, here you go, my Christmas present to you all.
It wasn't Christmas Day.
It was
close.
last
week sometime.
Yeah, it was some mice with VR goggles, and that image is definitely spectacular.
So what happened? Tell me what happened.
The mice went to Spain.
They went to Spain together, and they had classes. But they were all in one room though with these goggles on, which is really weird.
So this is it's a bit of a it's a clickbait headline. It's a bit of a misnomer in the sense where yes, there are VR goggles, but it's not true VR. They're simply showing different colors of lights and things to mice, and they're putting it within their visual field so they can test and see how the brain works. This is done by some super nerd scientists at Cornell who are researching how the brain works, and maybe they can use it to treat Alzheimer's and other sort of brain abnormalities and things. But what they saw is when they were just trying to show general images to a mouse, the mouse didn't care. It's like, that's a freaking TV. What do I care? Right. But then they put this thing right in their visual field with these tiny little goggles. And when they would show different lights and things approaching, you could see the mouse reacting. And so they were like, hey, we're learning something here. This is science. So.
We had to use more evolved brains because the human brain wasn't ready for this yet. No.
Well, anyway, so these will soon be available for all of you to use on mice at your campuses.
Mice and gerbils.
Yeah. I'm not ready for this yet.
Well,
see?
No
That's
one is.
They picked the best candidates they had.
Well, this is why VR is everywhere. So, yeah, get used to it.
So, yeah, look, get those.
So I see the link, and then I see Mark's comment, and it's like, perfect. And that's all it says.
Do you need anything else? I mean, that's all you need.
Just perfect.
VR mice?
If you click the link, you can see a picture of it.
Christmas miracle.
Oh, I see the picture.
Okay.
It's a preview. Gotta-
Yeah, so that was the actual use case. Hard hitting. There it is.
That was it. Yeah, they built VR goggles for mice.
You know, these goggles
end.
have to be twice the weight of these mice. You see these? I mean, how is
Around the front legs.
is it? I mean, what?
Well, Justin, this is the second phase of a research project. The first phase was building muscles in mice so they could hold their heads up with the VR goggles.
I mean,
on.
this thing is like if you put a car on your head. It's like, why would that poor
Don't you
mouse-
do that?
That seems fine. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what's the problem here.
You
I mean, I
describe
think
my
we-
Tuesdays.
Yeah. Next topic. Let's go.
Next topic. All right, scientists build car for mouse head. No, I'm kidding. All right. Next one is this was a commercial AV Reddit/Discord thread. Said catchbox light throwable microphones. Are they worth it? And this one was interesting because it actually had a whole amount of
There's a lot of response.
a lot of discussion here, and people kind of box themselves into two camps. People who hate catch boxes because it's a different type of microphone and it makes people uncomfortable to throw sofa cushions at each other,
Right.
and people who really like them.
Yeah.
And
So
there
it's
doesn't
kind
seem
of-
to be any middle ground on this.
No,
it's a
it's
cult thing?
polarizing. It's very polarizing. Like you either are accepting and willing to try something different, or you are like dressed in black long ponytail and Sharpie and like that's not a microphone.
I didn't know people were
that's it.
anti-catchbox. I didn't know
there's-
that was.
They're
on that
anti-catchbox.
thread, there's a lot
Yeah.
of people who are anti-catchbox, which is
Yeah.
weird because I'm in the other camp. I think they're cool.
Like
I think they're trying some
fine.
innovative stuff, and you
yeah,
got to
I
get
mean-
past like just that microphone thing though. Like, there's a lot going on with that new DSP, and I think it's they're trying some new stuff. And I think it's nice to see that, and they're challenging what we think the occupational tools can be for those that dabble in audio and
Well,
video.
and we've talked about it before. I think what's most interesting about Catchbox, and kudos to those guys for building really solid products, and they're doing something different. If you want regular microphones, if you want lavalier handheld headset microphones, whatever, there's 7 or 8 different brands you can go buy from today. If you want something that's a little different, and yes, they do make a pseudo lavalier. It's not really that. It's a clip-on mic. I think they all call it a clip-on with an Omni capsule, but they've got an interesting. You can mount it into like a little handle, so now it's a Omni handheld.
yeah, they had the little handheld. They had the
Then you've got the
works.
sofa cushion version
For hitting people, yeah.
and they've got a really solid kind of mini receiver / DSP, which most people overlook because they're not paying attention to
That
what this
thing
is.
is special. It's got the USB. It's got Dante. It's got a lot lot of horsepower for a little half. Is it half rack or
Half
quarter
rack.
It's half rack.
Up
Nice
to
for a
4
classroom.
channels in half rack too.
Nice
You
for
get
a
almost
classroom.
every little thing done with that box. And
It's that thing
honestly,
we've been asking for a while. And
I have a couple of them sitting up here. You can't see them in this mode, but that new audio element they have in those microphones, blindfold yourself and do a taste test. It sounds pretty damn good for what it actually is.
The Omni capsule in that thing. Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, and I've told them this too. I mean, directly, and they're big supporters of higher ed and appreciate that. That I think the one thing that little clip-on sort of thing needs is I would say like a 3.5 millimeter or a mini XLR to put a full mic capsule. If someone does want a traditional lavalier worn microphone, that would just make it that much more flexible. Because right now it's the built-in Omni capsule only, and you can put it in a handheld handle, handing a handheld handle.
That's just a handle.
That's a handle. Thank you.
That's just a. That would just.
Oh,
be
this is
a
a
handle.
handheld handle, not a foot-held handle. But anyway,
Oh,
so it becomes the handheld, but it's the same mic capsule. So.
Yeah. But I think they have a nice little kit, and I think we had talked about like the accessibility capability that this kind of gives you as that quickly come in, feed your assisted listening with this. Like it's really fast to get that kind of utility out of that little box. It's like I like it. I like kind of what they're doing and kind of pushing the bounds of what we would recognize. Now you do see some folks that are, I'm a video guy and it doesn't look like a regular microphone to me. Well,
who cares?
how's it sound to you? It's a microphone.
You care how microphones look?
from an active learning standpoint, like that mic does engage the audience and gets conversations rolling. And so, like, there's some pedagogical
goes
reasons to
everywhere.
actually use it.
That's one of the comments, Chris. You're going to use it till you spill all the water off the tables. Whatever. You're awake now. Let's go.
Because that's not going to happen
Yeah.
without a catch box. That never happened before
What,
that.
are you throwing handheld microphones at people?
I think we
that's
need,
happened.
we need more projectiles in meetings to wake people up. That's really the takeaway here.
So yeah,
If
so
I
Take
more
that
meant
back
the
to the
spilled
office.
coffee, the spilled
There has
water
to be a
thing,
reason.
much less the throwing the microphone thing. But that's
Yeah.
not important right now.
Check it out. Check them out. I don't know. It's a good thread. Next topic.
yeah, I think all of us would just wholeheartedly endorse Catch boxes in general. They make several different products, but in general, the Catch box product lines are pretty solid, and they are not a traditional microphone. So if you get past that, give them a listen. So. All right, next story comes from where's this one from? This one's the commercial AV subreddit and Discord. Where'd it go here? Here it is. And it's titled, and this one's a bit of a novel, titled USB-C to HDMI plus USB 3 hub over IP or fiber.
Wrong answer.
So this is basically somebody saying that they are trying to extend USB, thinking the wrong direction. But I'll summarize here because it's quite a long post. But I'm looking for a product or an alternative. Here's a problem. We want to install USB-C cables as a single connection cable from the desk to a touch display for classrooms.
And that's not bad. That in itself.
Okay, fine.
I'm with you. Let's go.
Kinda.
Hey, I'm doing it. It's working.
The display can either be converted to USB-C or HDMI plus USB for a touch display, or DisplayPort plus USB for touch. We'll have a fixed computer in the room, correct, connected via HDMI or DisplayPort plus USB extenders, and are looking for a solution for the laptops with USB-C. Our idea is either to have a long USB-C cable, oh no, running from the display to the desk, or we want to add a little 1 meter USB-C extender in case the cable gets destroyed. So they want to do a disconnect at the end, I guess. That's fine. But they're looking for an extender to get all their stuff back to the display for one display, and they're talking about using USB docks, like laptop docks and things. And
It's a lot.
I got lost after sentence 4.
I think there's like a couple camps in here. One is like your computer should be at your display, right? We I think around the room we kind of believe like put that computer as local as you can if that is your driving piece of this, right? And let the touch do its thing. There are several different extenders that are not the Icron thing to do.
yeah, they do
this.
bring up Icron here, who makes fine products, but you're starting like at the Cadillac. So
Yeah, I mean, I've been using the Liberty USB-C, and it's been great as a single point, and now it's converting out to HDMI.
you're going to
at the
hate
other
my
end.
solution.
It's fine. Yeah, I know. If you're doing one of these things, not necessarily both of these things, and so because I don't want to get into the whole switching of the USB like that.
Nope,
I'm not
I got a
doing.
Jamie solution you're going to hate.
Go for it. Give me the Jamie answer.
I stumbled across it, I don't know, a couple of years ago on a listserv. Someone was said, who makes a cheap, and by cheap, inexpensive USB extender? And it was this Amazon special. They're like $38. I buy them in sets of 10. They will burn out in like a year, and I throw it away and swap it because it cost $38.
And who cares about labor?
How much
'Cause
time? Yeah, what
screw
are you
your labor.
We're going at this.
Like, I don't care. I got free labor. Good for you.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Wyoming has free labor now.
I can replace 6 to 8 of those over the lifespan of a system, and it'll still cost me less than putting in one Icron.
Are they
So- no,
next
yeah,
to
the
your
icons, no,
office
I don't- I
or
don't-
extended campus?
Justin, I have
down the road?
a phalanx of students.
I don't even know what phalanx means. Is that like
Here we
a
go.
connector?
Yes.
What is?
So we've been doing the single thing, the single connection. Here it is. And we've been
Mm-hmm.
doing PTZs through it, DSPs back as one connection at your computer, at your laptop, or whatever BYOD you want to do that is the USB-C. And just by way of the Liberty thing. And it breaks it all out the other end, plugs it in. It's fine. It's clean. And it's working via CAT. So I think there's a lot of different ways to go about doing this. I don't support the whole let's switch the USBs betwixt the two of those PCs and yada, 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 and make it way more complicated than it needs to be. But that's just where I am.
So in a scenario, say you did have a BYOD scenario where there was not an installed computer, you would just provide a connection, plug this in, and this is what you get.
No,
But
That's what you
no, no.
So I just did rooms that way over the break, and they're working as of now. We'll check
Justin-
back in a
Justin
couple
says
weeks.
no.
Yeah,
No.
why not?
Pop up in
why
Zoom.
are you against it?
Pop
What
up in Teams, content share that way.
works?
But some people actually want to use their laptop.
Wait, just
They
say,
have
are you-
special programs.
yeah.
They
There's,
can.
there's. I don't have another compute in the room
Yeah.
to host the Teams.
Oh,
It's just this USB-C connection.
I am
all
actually
you need.
trying the in-room computer and the bring your own device
Yes.
in a room as like a test case.
With access
switching?
to all the peripheral devices.
With access to all the peripherals. Extron's making some interesting
They are.
products that I'm going
And
to
I think that may have been listed in this little
yeah. Well,
this link here. Yes.
So yeah,
USB.
the primary thing about USB-C is don't overthink it, and also don't try to like think of it as a single massive transport where you can move everything back and forth, because invariably it falls apart. Keep in mind USB especially if you have multiple devices, loves to step down to the dumbest device. So the minute you plug in a USB 2 device or you plug in a keyboard that's USB 1, it
That's
brings
the key to
everything
this.
down.
So I do not. So in that USB-C, I'm only transporting USB 2. So all my devices dumb down to USB 2 to fit within that bandwidth constraint on there, so it actually works more reliably.
Yeah, that $38 extender I use is USB 2 only.
Right.
I'm extending, touch to screens or something. So
Yes. Don't go out and buy some like crazy 4K camera. I need to get this whole USB 3 thing. No, don't do that.
by the way, in this post, and I skipped over it, they do mention the TV 4K as if that's important. First of all, don't do that. Don't run it at 4K. Also, don't try to extend 4K. You're not helping anybody.
Will your cheap extender do it, Chris, for $36?
Yeah.
It doesn't do any video. It does display. I extend video over baseband like God intended.
What if I got like a Magewell and just jammed that in there and wanted to extend that through there?
Oh,
anyway?
I'm sure that'll run great. So, and these are the things I don't try to do with my $38 extenders, which work great for extending USB 2 crap that you just want to move around the room. So,
Let's get one more in here.
all right, one more. Do you guys
the
want to
last
do
one?
the what's this one? Oh, AV framework. You want to do that one?
Oh, that one's a special one.
one's an
Let's
easy
see.
one.
Where's
Let's
that
go.
one?
Pick it up.
Whatever they're
Larry
doing,
has an easy
stop
answer
it.
to this one. Stop doing that.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
easy?
Also, so this one says
Easy.
routing using Crestron AV framework. Hey, y'all, I've got 11 identical rooms I'm deploying with a Crestron DMPS 350 in each room. I'd like to use AV framework to deploy this for simplicity. First mistake. The systems also have biamp to Sierra Forte DAN units, so they're Dante units, and a Canon CN N300 camera, along with 2 LG blah, 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 blah displays. Who cares? How is AV framework routing a single source to multiple displays? Also, am I able to use the biamp or Canon modules? So the answer to all this is no. Please stop. You're digging a hole here. AV framework.
AV framework, it doesn't route any. What,
AV framework is like does this. It's like if you can live in this box, then you're fine. The minute you want to do one thing outside of that,
Good luck.
good freaking luck.
You've got 11 identical rooms. Go out and hire a programmer to make sure your program works, because it sounds, and preferably a
I will
designer,
sell you a
because
program.
You are overbuilt
For
for
one
what you're
program
doing.
right now that'll work for all
design
11
it.
rooms.
If you're going to want to use AV framework and that's your end goal, you have to design around that.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
has very strict constraints.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
it
you
was,
can't-
I just found it fascinating that let's rattle off all this stuff, but never talk about what we're trying to do.
No.
He's deploying rooms, Mark.
Okay.
He just wants to show the same source.
He's got a
source.
DMPS 350 in every room. He wants to make it easy.
I say you just buy a signage
wanna
player.
make it easy.
One signage player as an input, and then just, or you're done.
Pick it out.
Yeah, just go. Get rid of the whole
AV
DMP.
framework was interesting because that was announced 15, 14, something like that.
Have you
with-
tried it? You ever use it?
Yeah. I've got a handful of
it
rooms
works,
deployed
yeah.
that way, and it is freaking annoying
You
because
look at the
minute you wanna
code that
do-
it creates for you? It's wonderful.
Yeah, like I said, it's like if you can live within this, it's fine. The minute you want to do one other, you're in Tchotchke Town, you're faking stuff, you're using some of its really strictly limited buttons and how to do layouts and stuff. It's a pain in the butt. I can't make the damn Bluetooth button go away because it's stuck there. It's like, why?
So, but wouldn't that? But there is a UI component that I didn't see listed in here anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
How are you driving any of this stuff?
And I'll be honest, I'm guessing that's what started them down the AV framework path was because the UI that creates is very clean and basic and simple. And people like that. And they like that concept. But you're stuck in that.
You're
so.
stuck there. So
What was the one? AMX had one, Rapid Product, whatever it was, RPM.
that was the dream of like, let's just have a web configurator tool and we'll put all these programmers out of work. And
That's
everybody
where
will
they
be
all
able to just
started.
do
What
it.
was
Yeah.
Crestron had what was the earlier one, part of Studio? They had
Studio
what was the really basic thing they did?
System Builder? Or whatever that
System
was?
Builder, but there was
Yeah,
one after
that
that.
thing. Oh.
Anyway, every 10 years they come up with another thing that's going to be, you can just click 3 things and it will generate your entire product. And I get that's exactly what they're trying to do here. And this person is going to hate themselves for trying.
So it's such a bad post that there's one question and then there's one answer and there's nothing else 6 days ago.
People are
It's
like,
just
there's not
I'm
enough.
even
There's not
gonna-
enough here. Like,
I'm not even going to
just
spend my
don't.
time
Yeah.
to even bash this. It's not even worth it.
There's
There's
not enough info to answer the question,
Yeah.
but there's enough info to know that this person doesn't know what they're doing.
Trash it all and just run it off the biamp. Be done.
Well, honestly,
We have 11 rooms with DMPS 350s in it in 2025. Good luck.
yeah, I was going to say, step one is get yourself out of your time machine from 2014 and come use a modern system. But all right. Any other comments, things we want to say, or we'll just close out of here and be done with it?
We'll just close out of here. We got some more shows coming up, though.
Yeah, reminder,
New
we
Year.
stream live every Friday at about 3 p.m.
About
Eastern,
now,
12 p.m.
whatever it is now.
Pacific, or 30 minutes later because it's my fault, or Justin forgot. Whatever
I
the
didn't know
issue.
we were doing anything today.
Every Friday, Justin.
We didn't do it last Friday.
Remember this whole holiday discussion and all that?
I'm on holiday still. It's still a holiday for me. I just got
Yours was
home.
like shut down for 6 weeks. It doesn't count.
It's not my fault that we have great vacation time.
Taking it out on you either way. It doesn't matter. It's your
Like
fault.
you guys are just being jelly.
So we'll be back next week with a full off the rails, and then a whole slate of stuff coming up. And we got some interesting things we're going to try as far as carrying some common themes throughout the entire year on some things. It's kind of interesting to try that out.
Some
So
projects for you. We're going to do some
Themes?
projects this year.
themes and
Like-
things. So
like an 80s day.
Yes.
yes,
It's gonna
it's
be
all
all 80s,
80s
and 70s.
themed. So
Ruin the surprise, Justin. Jesus.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks to Chris for chiming in from
Hey,
Joe.
Toronto.
And Joe.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Joe from Los
exotic
Angeles,
land
so.
up north. Hello.
All righty. Well, we'll
right,
see you guys. Let me click this other one.
Get us. Yeah,
this
click
one.
it.
Well, it's got a whole it's a ramp thing, and you don't hear it, and I can't hear it
well.
until it's too loud anyway.
And yeah, it's too much. All right.
So
Happy New
we'll
Year,
see you
everybody.
guys
We'll see ya.
next week,
it's-
and Happy New Year.
2026?
Yes,
Yep.
next year.
Wait, what?
Quiet. We did it! A short show just for the first Friday of the month, usually. Follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter to join us next time, and you'll find the full slate of recorded podcasts and everything else we do at our website, avsuperfriends.com.